Oh, this is a fun topic. Things Koreans do that foreigners find is so interesting. Make sure you subscribe and like my video because that encourages me and motivates me to give you even better content. All right, you guys, I have some really fun culture facts about Korea and Koreans, what Koreans do, including myself. I have shocked many of my non Korean friends because I'm Korean and I just brought 13 of them here today. If you really love it, let me know in the comments to give you part two. I would love to. Okay, so let's see how this goes. It's going to be so interesting. So, basics. You guys all know that we bow all the time for thanking, greeting, apologizing. We're like, 안녕하세요, 죄송합니다, 잠시만요. Like, we're just like, always moving our neck like this. I think I move my neck so much that it's like automatic now. I'm always going like this. So you'll notice Korean people always bowing to show, greeting, thanking, and apologizing many times. Another thing that you'll find it interesting is we have a specific titles at work that we use to call people. You've heard like 팀장님, 선생님, 사장님, or 과장님. All of these 님, it's a polite ending, but we like have one for manager, we have one for all kinds of positions at job. And if you watch K-dramas, you exactly know what I'm talking about, right? Actually, I have a list that I pulled one up earlier. I don't want to miss it. So let me just read some that they have. Like team leader, 팀장님, you see it here. And then we have 과장님, that's like manager. And then like 차장님, like general manager. Like 부장님, department head. We have so many. So you get what I mean. So next time when you watch K-drama, if you listen to it carefully, you're gonna know, oh, this is what Aina was saying. They have name for all these positions. Okay, third fact. Giving and receiving things with two hands, not just one, two hands as a sign of respect. So have you noticed like they were giving you a gift and then like they were always receiving it with two hands, and of course with a little bow too. And you receive, you give, always use two hands to show respect. Especially the one that you're giving to is older than you cannot give it just with one hand. Like it's not considered polite. Make sure you receive the gift or give the gift with two hands, especially the person that you are talking to is someone who's older than you, even by 1 year. Okay, it just shows respect. It's part of our culture. My friend who's not Korean thought it was very interesting. Okay, so two hands. And next up is sharing all side dishes, which is banchan in Korean, not pangchan. I know you're excited to hear that name too, but banchan with everyone at the table. So like double dip in everything. And if you're not used to the culture and if you haven't gone to Korean restaurants, you're like, but we like to share a lot. It comes from our collective culture. I'm going to talk more about it later too. Well, talking about food, I have a couple ones related to food. We have this too. Not just the side dishes, not just banchan. We have like jjigae, kimchi jjigae, doenjang jjigae, all of that. We like double dip and then we eat together. Especially like I'm not talking about Korean restaurants here. I mean, they do that here too, but especially if you go to Korea, everybody double dips and shares the stew. Okay, big pot of stew instead of individual plates. All right, another thing that's gonna put you to coma is we eat fast. In restaurants, it's not like Western culture where we sit down and we talk and we enjoy all the way from like appetizers, the entree to dessert. We're like, eat the 국밥, the jjigae, even though it's like really hot and spicy, you're like, ooh, and then you're done. Okay, I think it's just because this is just my thought, but Korea is a small land, right? And we have so many people in there and many restaurants, and there's like a line, and we want to be respectful for the next person too. And we don't want everybody to be waiting in the line forever in such a small little land and restaurant. So people like to eat fast compared to many Western countries, the restaurants here. Okay, so just be aware of that. And next, Talking about food, I have to bring this one too. You've seen mukbang, right? Especially the Korean ones. They're loud. The slurping noodle? That's normal. That we think it's like so yummy when you have the taste or like a sound. Okay, so next time you watch K drama or people are going live and they're like slurping their noodles, know that's a very normal culture in Korea. And in fact, like when they see quiet, slurp or like quietly someone quietly eating the noodles, they probably will get shocked. Like vice versa, right? Korean people looking at non-Koreans like very gently, they're like, wow, I didn't know noodles can be eaten like that, right? And talking about food, I also had to bring in this using metal chopsticks a lot of times instead of wooden ones. So I know like Western people, they're used to using fork, first of all, but if they like chopsticks, they use the wooden ones. But in Korea, Korean restaurant, because a lot of the dishes are hot and we use metal chopsticks. And it might not be gentle to your teeth, but it just like feels more expensive and fancy and nicer. So we have that. Okay, we're almost going towards the end, but not yet. I think I'm like 70% there. So we're still at the food section, right? And we're done eating, and I have to talk about how we pay the bills. Those of you who watch the K drama, you probably know this one too. But like, yeah, we split the bills, but also like half the times if you want to split the bills, we like have like half and half, and someone pay you back and stuff. But another times we just say, okay, I'll pay this time. You get it next time. Like that's just the normal culture in Korea. And when American people see that, they're like, huh? Like, we don't Venmo each other? Yes, I said there is a way to do that. But other half of times, we just say, I'll get it next time. And you do. You do meet up again and you get it next time. Hmm. That's another culture. Okay, so all of that, you see the food and how like double dipping and like I'll get it next time culture. So all of that comes down to how collective we are in Korea. So that's like a collective culture that you'll see. And because of that, language is affected too. So you'll hear words like 우리 when it's supposed to be my. So 우리 means we. And have you heard people say like 우리 엄마, our mom, when you're really referring to your mom? So when I say our mom, 우리 엄마는 너무 예뻐. 우리 엄마가 오늘 김치찌개 해줬어. Like 우리 엄마, although I'm talking about my mom, I just say 우리. It just feels more friendly. You know what I mean? And it's just like I include everybody who is listening to my story. And 우리 is such a family vibe. Although I'm talking about my mom, not your mom. You know, just language carries culture. So you'll hear 우리 집, that's our house. Although like we don't live in the same house, I can say that our house, 우리 집. 우리 회사, our company instead of my company. So you're gonna hear people say 우리 instead of my many times. Okay. Another one is saying age by Korean age system until 2023. So we're trying to transition into the international age, the normal system. But we've been having something called the Korean age for such a long time. We don't remember when it started, probably like hundreds of years. So it takes a long time for us to transition. But what Korean age is basically, you're 1 year old when you're born. Not 0, you're 1. So obviously, the Korean age, when I refer to that, I am older than you. Like, if we're born the same year, if I go with my Korean age, I'll be older because I was 1 when I was born and you were 0 when you were born. Another super, super fun fact is Korean age follows January 1st is when everybody ages. Not on your birthday. You gain 1 more year on January 1st. Isn't that so crazy? So on January 1st, people go like, "Oh, 한 살 더 먹었네. I've eaten one more year." We have a saying like that, and everybody like cheers, or it could be sad, it could be good, right? So that's like those two systems is inside of the Korean age system, if you didn't know. So on your birthday, you don't gain another year because you already gained on January 1st. But as I wrote here, it's until 2023, and we're trying to transition into the normal international system because it's confusing. Because even us, like as Korean people, we are like, are you talking about Korean age or international age? Like, what are you talking about? And we have to specify every time we talk about our age because we have two different systems in our head, too. Okay? So just know that we're transitioning, and that was until 2023, which is pretty recent. All right. And I think I have just two more. Yep. So another thing is calling older people 언니, 오빠, 누나, 형, even if they're not family. You know, 언니 means sister and 오빠 is a brother. 누나 is a sister but called by male, and 형 is a brother called by male. So the first two is called by female. And in our culture, I think that's also collective culture, right? Like family, collective. Although they're not my sister by blood, if they're 1 year older than me, 2 years older than me, and they're my friends, but they're older, I just call them 언니, 언니. And if I have a friend that's a male and he's older than me by 1 or 2 or 3 or 5, I don't know, I call them 오빠, 오빠. And yeah, oppa is, K-drama. Like, we use it to refer to, like, romantic relationship oppa. That's good too. But it's actually anyone who's older than you and who's your friend. So, oppa it is, right? But if you're like, oppa, like, they love that too. If you add a little bit of a 애교, cuteness, and then, hey, oppa, they love that. Okay, here is your last fun fact that's so interesting is one of the most popular hangout spots in Korea that people hang out in actually is 노래방, karaoke room. And you will be just like, you know how we say like, oh, let's meet up at a restaurant. What do you want to eat? But we're like, okay, we ate. Now should we go to 노래방? 노래방 갈까? Like, we've done the eating part. Let's like go deep. Let's sing and see each other sing and have fun together. And there is like a coin 노래방 where you put some coins, and it's like such a small room. You go in and sing, and we call it coin 노래방, coin. And there's like a big room 노래방, which is not a coin. So there are types of 노래방 that you can choose from, but coin 노래방 is cheaper. So people go and it's like super casual and they have a blast, right? So just know if they ask you 노래방 갈래? Just know that it's normal. It's like how we hang out and how we get to know someone. Okay, after eating. Okay, so that wraps up 13 things that Koreans do that foreigners find it so interesting. If you're used to this culture, you're probably like, yeah, like it's not surprising. But if you're like, wow, Aina, I get it now. I've seen K-dramas all the time. I thought it was so interesting or sometimes weird, but now you explained it all clearly. I get that it's a part of your culture, right? And if you find this culture video fun, can you let me know in the comments so I can maybe bring you part 2? So I want to ask you, would you like part 2 on culture? Because this is my very first video on culture, and I thought it would be helpful because many of you told me you're traveling to Korea, moving to Korea, you have a Korean spouse and family, and I want to know if this is all helpful to you, or do you just like my language content? Let me know because I like to communicate with you guys to deliver the best content for you. Okay, so that wraps up everything, and I hope now things when you come across these culture facts, you're not going to coma, right? Because I not tell you all about the culture facts. Yes? All right, that's it for me. I'll see you next time. Bye.